allowed to mention companies and things like that, or is it like no free ads kind of thing?
Great question. Typically, this is a highly socialist communist space and no free ads.
Okay.
So make it clear what they are without naming the
Okay.
without
Okay.
naming the business. Yeah.
Well, that the business that you think of when you think of pumpkin spice
Yeah.
latte,
Yeah,
they
sure. There you go.
I
So it's an outer space object,
right,
um,
and money,
and money. Yeah. Outer space money, coffee.
outer space money, coffee. I think when I first had it, it was like this new thing, and I think my coffee palate was not very refined at all. And so
Mm-hmm.
I just and like the artificial sort of chemical flavoring and like the overly sweetness, my palate was all for that. But I think through my journeys, my coffee related palate at least has refined. And so when I went back to it, I was like, these are no bueno. Too chemically, uh, too overly sweet. Doesn't actually taste like pumpkin spice when you actually like bake with pumpkin spices,
Mm-hmm.
which I've
Mm-hmm.
done. Um, but there's a lot of local coffee shops around me, and they all make pumpkin spice
Of
lattes. And
course.
so this year I have been trying them all and doing a power ranking of all the pumpkin spice lattes in the area. Um,
Well, let's hear it. Let's. I need to hear the power ranking starting
so
from the
this
bottom up, not to from the very
so
bottom
this
necessarily,
so this
but
was this was the backup thing, but now we're just talking about it. So I have a framework that I rate them all on. And it's not like a they're not it's not a quantitative scale, it's more a qualitative scale that is helping me figure out what I like in a pumpkin spice latte. And so
I couldn't
the
be more
framework
excited about this.
is
Joe, just I couldn't be more excited about this.
I had a feeling
I can't express to you how important, how much this is exactly what I want on this. This is the exact content I want.
I knew once I said framework I would have you.
Right. And is there an Excel
Yeah.
spreadsheet involved in this?
Not yet. I've just been taking notes in a field notes notebook,
Okay.
and a notes app
It could be
a
switched
notes
over,
app on
but
my phone. Yeah,
got it.
I'm probably gonna. I've made my way through one round, and I took notes, but now I'm gonna go back through and have them all again and reevaluate.
Oh my god.
Because here's the problem: is I have terrible sense of taste.
Okay.
Like like I can you could hand me like three spices like nutmeg, clove, and cinnamon, and I would struggle saying which one was which.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
my wife can eat something and that has like a lot of nuanced flavors, and you're like, oh, what is that flavor that's sticking out? And she'll like know, oh, that's this thing that they put in it without actually knowing the recipe. She can just identify. I could never be like a chef because I can't do that. I think I could learn to do it though. And this maybe part of this is secretly me wanting to like prove to myself that I can
You can be a critic.
have a
Yeah.
better mind mouth connection.
Oh my god, that's an awesome phrase. Mind mouth connection.
Yeah, I don't think I have good mind mouth connection.
Oh my god. But you want a better mind mouth connection.
I do. I do. I want to know the flavors. So, okay, so here's the framework. The first one is sweetness. Like qualitatively, what kind of sweetness, and maybe quantitatively too. Like, is it too sweet? Is it not sweet enough? Is it does it have kind of like a brown sugary sweetness, or is it more of like a just kind of like chemical like sweetener,
Mm-hmm.
sweetness? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on with that element of the pumpkin spice latte?
Right.
The next one is pumpkin spice. That's the next element of the framework. So what what is their what is this pumpkin spice latte's point of view on what pumpkin spice is? Because I
Okay.
don't think as a society we've all gotten together and agreed on what pumpkin spice is. Especially because pumpkin doesn't have spice. That's the reason why you have pumpkin spice, is because you have to
Absolutely.
spice the pumpkin because it's just a bland squash.
Yes.
And
That is such an incredible, like, that is not talked about enough, that, like, this idea of pumpkin spice is entirely made up.
no, yeah, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, folks?
Right.
And the outer space dollars is like, this is what one is. And everyone's like, hell yeah, it is.
That tastes great.
I'm
Oh,
super into it.
I'm completely unsurprised by this.
There's actually a guy who you would love, I think, has a YouTube show. We'll give him an advertisement, except that I don't know his name.
That's a tough
uh,
advertisement.
yeah. So, and I actually know the name of the show, but maybe I won't. Maybe I won't pre-advertise unless you want to go back later. But he did a whole thing on he like makes drinks. He like cocktails, and he gets like really nerdy into the science and flavors of like making a good drink. And so he
Cocktails
won't
mostly, though.
cocktails mostly. And so uh it this was like a couple years ago. He did a pumpkin spice syrup that he could use in a cocktail, but he wanted to isolate like his point of view on what pumpkin spice should be, his interpretation. But to do that, he drank like a bunch of outer space dollars pumpkin spice lattes.
But his
And
interpret. So he was trying to do the interpretation of the outer space dollars, not of what a pumpkin's spice would be.
yes and no. He started out doing that,
Okay.
like trying to be like, if I made basically an alcoholic drink inspired by a pumpkin spice latte. So the outer space dollars was his starting point.
Gotcha.
But then he was like, it was terrible. And and there's actually like two commercially available syrups that like there's like a French company and an Italian company. And if you see like in a coffee shop, like all the syrups that they have to
Yeah.
like
Oh,
make
I've
the
seen
different
those.
things.
And they always look
Yeah,
French.
yeah. So there's like two different ones. So he got those and he was like analyzing them and he got like a bunch of pumpkin spice lattes from the place and was analyzing it. And what he realized is it's not what his mind and his interpretation, his point of view on what pumpkin spice actually is. It was like nowhere close. Actually, to get the flavor, he recreated the flavor of outer space dollars, and actually, it's just like three times as much sugar as you would think.
Oh
So
my.
it's just like very sweet, and it's mostly vanilla actually.
Uh
So
huh.
it's kind of just a slightly tweaked vanilla latte actually.
Oh.
There's not that many
Way
of like
sweeter.
like
Way sweeter.
way sweeter, way
Uh
more vanilla.
oh. Uh oh. Corporate
I thought,
corporate America, watch out! Joe's coming for you.
yeah,
He came on the internet just long enough to come tear down corporate America by exposing their conspiracy theories of how they're all
yeah.
going to get us hooked on white sugars. Oh my goodness! And
So
vanilla.
there's all these joints in my town that I can ride my bicycle to get a pumpkin spice latte, and they do interesting things like, oh, we made our own syrup, or oh, we actually use pumpkin puree. So I ask people, the lovely, super nice baristas, like, how do you make your pumpkin spice latte? And some of them are just a syrup, and you can tell. So, okay, so that's two. So it's sweetness, pumpkin spice, and then for me, because I really like coffee, which probably could be its own topic that I could talk about for a long time. Except I'm not that smart about it. I just really like coffee. Um, it coffee, like the coffee presence in the latte, because some are very like the coffee doesn't like pack a punch. I want to feel the espresso come through the latte.
Absolutely.
I
That's
normally
I think
wouldn't
that's a
get a
sign of
latte.
a very good latte is that you can taste the coffee.
Right. It
Very
should
good.
still it should still feel like I'm so I want there to be like a coffee punch to
Absolutely.
it. And then the last category number four is the trimmings.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because some people just do like a foam, but then and some people do like a foam, but then uh like some like a dusting of cinnamon or nutmeg or like a pumpkin spice mix, which is basically nutmeg, cinnamon, and clove, and some ginger usually. Um, and so that's kind of nice where it's like sitting on the head of the foam. There's that little
Mm-hmm.
dusting.
Mm-hmm.
And some people just like, like, fuck it, let's put some whipped cream on this
Oh,
and drizzle some caramel. I actually don't. Hey, if the place like made their own whipped cream, I don't mind it.
wow.
Yeah. So this is more for me, where I'm like, trying to figure out if I want to go for repeat pumpkin spice lattes in like the 30 days that I think it's acceptable to be drinking them. Which place am I going to go? And across those factors, if I sort of like think about each one of those factors, not quantitatively, but like qualitatively, what dials in just the right pumpkin spice latte for Joe. That's what it's just a fun thing I'm doing
How many
because
have you done? How
it's
many have you checked
subjective.
so far?
I don't have it in front of me. I think it's about seven.
Wow. And you're gonna
We've
go
got a
through
lot of
them
coffee
again.
houses, and honestly, Outer Space Dollars was one of those because I went to Target. I had to do a little Target run, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna get one." And it
Target's getting free
was,
advertising apparently.
oh shit,
So we're doing that.
can edit that out.
I'll edit that
Can edit
out.
that
That
out.
doesn't count. I didn't.
Bullseye. We'll call it
The
Bullseye.
Bullseye place, the
I went to the
Bullseye
Outer
store.
Space Dollars in the Bullseye
Yeah,
place
yeah.
for while I was walking around buying Halloween candy. And it was nearly undrinkable, but
Oh,
I
really?
drank it.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, it was
Was he
bad.
your? That means, and we can wrap this up by you talking about how, yeah, this means that your palate has improved, and it didn't get worse, and you didn't just suddenly start liking garbage pumpkin spice latte again. No,
Mm-mm.
it was that you found the better versions of it, and it's the local stuff.
It's the local stuff, and I'm gonna try making the syrup this guy made, and I'm gonna try making my own too.
Oh my goodness, are you a coffee maker?
Yeah, but
Do
honestly,
you have a good machinery?
um, I have a V60 for individual pour overs. I've got a Chemex, a larger Chemex carafe for like multi-cup pour overs.
Okay.
Um, I've got an AeroPress. Are you familiar with the AeroPress?
I know a press. Oh my God, we're in a lot of trouble, Joe.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. No.
The biggest. Oh my God,
Oh, on the game or
on the
and
game.
me once again advertising for all these
Oh
companies that
no.
I just
Also, I don't
listed off.
actually care about that. I think it's hilarious, but I don't actually care. Oh my God. Oh my God, we're for sure dead. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this sit here for a little while. Um, what can I
I think
do?
this was a better topic than my actual topic, by the way.
Oh, so we've made it. There's some really good stuff. No, okay, so you mentioned two different uh, pieces of machinery that you have that demonstrate you definitely are a coffee dude. Do you do a full like you coffee maker?
Yeah, we've got like a drip coffee maker.
So there you go. You have all the different types.
Yeah, we have all the different types. The free advertisement, and I'm fine with this. I'll co-sign to this. The AeroPress, you should look it up because I think you would find it fascinating. I actually haven't like double checked this, so this could be a story someone told to me, and now I'm retelling it. I'm just realizing it. The pressure of like checking your own knowledge when you're on like a podcast. It's like, wait a minute. did someone just tell me this one time and I just accepted it as fact because
Absolutely.
it was
It's
pretty it was pretty low stakes and it didn't matter
but you're in
and
a
it was a good story.
safe space. I'm happy to hear about it. I'm gonna trust you.
Well, the interesting nugget is the AeroPress coffee maker is was made by the same guy that designed the Aerobee frisbee in like the 80s and 90s. Do you remember that thing?
Yes.
It was the greatest frisbee of all time.
Um, it an absolutely fantastic frisbee. That is, and so this same person invented this coffee machinery.
Yeah,
That's
which
fantastic.
which makes him amazing.
Some people are just inventors, and that's what they do
Some
for a living.
some people
Invention.
just invent all kinds of shit. Did you
Absolutely.
know another fact that 60% of Aerobees were lost in the ocean because they traveled too far and couldn't be retrieved
That's a very
on
high
an errant
percent.
throw? It's high because I just made that up,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even if it
but
was,
at least one did because that happened to me and my childhood Aerobee got lost in the Atlantic Ocean playing
that's
frisbee with my
incredible.
dad. Yeah.
Um, and it if what it can you imagine if it was actually 60% and there's just like a floating island worth of aerobees out there in the Pacific, and it's the Great Pacific Aerobee Patch.
Maybe maybe this show will, or at least this clip will go viral, and all these elder millennials will come out of the woodwork and be like, "I lost my Aerobee frisbee in the ocean too." And it turns out it's like this common thing that we all share, this shared childhood trauma of losing an Aerobee frisbee because it travels so far and so straight that it just sailed into the horizon of the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean and never to be seen again.
Maybe it never landed. Maybe that's just it's just
This
leaving, and it left
maybe I should
outside of your
maybe I should
field
go
of view.
back to that spot and wait for it to like catch it.
I don't think that's a good idea. It's never coming back.
Oh, wow. Buzzkill.
I can't play the game anymore, by the way. If
Oh,
I
you can't?
do, then I'm almost surely gonna die. There's
I
absolutely
just
way too
got a
many bad guys here.
I
So
just got a notification that says your call ends in 15 minutes. So explain to me before I tell you what my thing was.
yeah.
Explain to me why you're fucked.
Oh, okay. So up here, so about 6, 7, 10 moves ago, I got this status called marked added to my character, and it was that some um, evil entity in the dungeon uh, marked my existence so that every bad guy on the floor knew where I was. And so all these dudes came towards
Uh,
me, and I couldn't find a staircase to get away from them. It's actually there's one over here. So there's various things I could do to try to get out of this, like read one of these scrolls and hope that it just like zaps us to another part of the floor.
mm, mhm.
That could work, and I might do it in a minute. But if I do it and it doesn't immediately work, um, we might die on that turn. I might literally die on the next turn because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people gonna hit me on this next turn. So,
Yeah.
very likely to die. We'll talk about your thing because we haven't even got to it yet.
Let's see how much you actually want to talk about my
Okay,
thing.
that sounds great. Let's do that.
I think the pumpkin spice latte turned into my thing. I think I was
I loved that.
I, I
I
don't think I had 2 hours of content on the pumpkin spice latte, but I haven't talked about it with anybody.
You've
My
been
wife
keeping it
knows
to
that I'm
yourself.
doing it. My wife knows that I'm doing it, but
Wait, we didn't even
I
talk
haven't
about what the
really
best
talked
one
about
is.
it.
We didn't hear the power ranking at all.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're all local places that you wouldn't know.
Right. Oh, outer
Should we give
space.
them free advertisement?
That's absolutely true. Yes, of course we can give local coffee shops. Let's
So
do the
there's a
top
co
two. Let's do the top three. Or wait, how many of them would you call good? 6 of them.
How many of them would I call good?
I think we do have more
Um,
content on this.
let's see. Um, I think there's three good ones.
Okay, then those are the ones we need to hear about. Let's talk. Do you have them ranked? Do you have number 3 power rankings?
Here, let me. And why don't I bring up my notes? I don't think I can switch. I'm just on my phone, so I think I can switch
I
apps.
think I might. I think I might not care about the rule about us ending conversation when I die. What do you think about
It's
that?
kind of a fun rule.
It does add drama, but I also want to hear
Are you
about
guys
the.
a? Are you guys a? This is also another free ad. Are
Go
you
go
guys a
ahead. Free
Bluey
advertising.
household?
Are we a what?
Are you a Bluey household?
Yeah, totally. That's a good ad. That's a worthwhile ad.
So if you change the rules that you established, that's
It's not fair.
that's doing the thing from Shadowlands.
Right.
You know, remember that episode Shadowlands?
Yeah. The rules make it fun.
Yeah, don't Shadowland.
The rules make it fun. So we just have to work our way through how to make the rules work. I have an
Okay.
idea, but what's most important is did you get your information about your coffee
Yeah, so there
thing?
are seven. There are seven that I tried. There's another one of the coffee shops has two, but I've only had they have two different kinds of like fall drinks. One is a proper pumpkin spice latte. They call it a pumpkin pie latte,
Oh, clever.
which is interesting. Um, and then they have another one that's a bourbon maple cinnamon latte, and it's made with a bourbon maple syrup from a distillery in like a spirit distillery in Michigan. Um,
That's
but
incredible.
I haven't had that one yet. I need to. One of the places, probably arguably one of the better bakeries in Illinois, is I'm supposed to give my location. Well, too late. Um,
I'll cut that
they
out.
don't
I'll
have.
cut that out. I actually literally can cut that out.
I don't care.
Plus,
They
Joe, I
don't have.
died. The character died.
Oh no. All right, well,
No, I'm not
we're
gonna
done.
hang up on this because I literally just between the two of us want to hear. Oh, you know what? That's what we'll do. Oh, I just figured out. Okay, we're dead. Joe, the stream's over,
The stream's over, and you don't get to
and the rest of you
hear.
don't get to hear about the top two coffees
Yeah,
because that's what's critical here. Joe's right. The rules matter. And guess what's going to happen now is that Joe and I are going to go privately have the rest of this conversation. I'm going to hear more about the coffees.
that's how much you legitimately love listening to this.
That's exactly right, Joe. I want to I want to hear the rest of this coffee conversation. So folks on the internet, thanks for stopping by. This is our first death on the talk show, and thank you, Joe, for stopping by and making the time to hit me at this exact time of day. But Beef Boterham died on the sixth floor of the dungeon via death by all sorts of different things. All eight of these guys hitting us at once. So okay, bye stream. Say bye stream, Joe.
Bye, stream. I'm honored to be the death.